will kick off the Etowah County Media Day with the Gaston Bulldogs and Coach Matt Harris beginning his second year as the head coach of the Bulldogs. Coach, would you please introduce the guys that are with you and give us some comments on the Gaston Bulldogs this year, and then field some questions. Thank you.
We're really excited to be here today and looking forward to our second year. We've got Caden Battles, who's going to be a junior for us this year, play running back and defensive end. Really was a leader for us on the field last year. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but he plays like he's about 300 pounds. He plays hard and plays his guts out. And then on my left, we have Trent Benson. He was our lone junior last year. So he is our elder statesman as a senior this year. He's also going to be playing running back and defensive end for us as well. And he has been a phenomenal leader for us on and off the field. Just does everything right, holds everybody to the standard. So we're really proud of him and what he's accomplished leading into this season. As far as us as a team, I'm excited to get him on the field and see what we've been able to accomplish in a year. We've got 28 9 through 12 this year, which is far better than we were last year. Last year we came in here with 32 kids, 7 through 12. Now we're sitting at about 45 to 50, 7 through 12. So our numbers are looking good. Kids are buying in. We've had a great off season, been able to just put in some hard work very quietly, do our thing without a whole lot of hoopla around us, which has been a good thing for our guys. We started maxing yesterday and practicing, so one of the biggest indicators I look for is our squat max, and we've put about 100 pounds on everybody's squat max in 1 year. Nemo Samples, one of our ninth graders, put up 500 yesterday as a ninth grader, so we were really proud of that, and we stopped him. Probably could have done anywhere between 525 and 550, so trying to save a young kid right there and give him time to grow into his body. But we got a lot to look forward to. We've had several kids choose to come back who didn't play last year due to COVID or other reasons, which has bolstered our offensive line a great deal. We've picked up some athletes who were just playing basketball who have decided to come out and help us with football again, just like we did with Nick Lewis last year. A lot of good things happening in North Gaston over there on 411. I know people don't really talk about us a whole lot, and that's good because our guys, they like to do it that way. They have put in a lot of quality work this offseason, and that's kind of what we've tried to teach them is that quality work with great effort, God smiles on that. And they've kind of taken that up, and they've done the work. So.
My question, guys. Coach, you had a forfeit your last 2 games last year for the COVID concerns. How much was that a motivating factor for the kids in the offseason and summer workouts to draw from that negativity to the positive?
Honestly, we didn't talk about it a whole lot. Once we got past that, we just went straight to work, and we were still able to finish our junior high schedule, and they built off of that, I think, because look, guys, we started anywhere from 7th to 8th graders and 9th graders last year on the varsity squad. So being able to finish our junior high schedule, that's what a lot of our returning starters are drawing off of. Was finishing that and playing strong. And honestly, they haven't worried about last year's negatives. All they're doing is looking forward and looking at what they can do in the future. They've bought into that idea that this is a building process, and we're just going to keep working every day, and they've done that very well.
Coach, just the overall numbers being out there and the mentality of the guys, how much more confident ahead of the curve do you think you are heading into this fall
Opposed to last year, we are so much further ahead of the curve, it's not even funny. We sat down and talked about our install this week, and our defense is pretty much completely installed already from the summer. And we've got 30% of our offense in already. 100% of our passing game, really. So, you know, that kind of tells you who we want to be as far as an offense goes. So, you know, we know our kids. That's the biggest difference is we know our kids. You know, I'm still trying to figure out who our quarterback's going to be. We got 3 guys who've got the potential to play that position. But as far as knowing who's ready to go right now, who we need to look at to try to develop as a backup, we know all those things. And I'm not waiting until, you know, week 1 to try to figure out who's going to be my next man up as an offensive lineman. I know already. And that's a big part of what we went through last year was just getting to know them. You know, I told the kids at the end of the season, the work we did last summer was really the bare minimum of what anybody expects a varsity football program to do. You know, we didn't even start installing culture really last summer because there was not the time, and I needed to get to know our guys and who they were and what their mentality was and where they were at. We didn't really start teaching culture until November. And when we really started putting that in, that's where we've seen our leadership take off. Our guys have, you know, they understand what we expect out of them now and where the expectation is, and they're living up to it. And it just, for us, it puts us in a place where I feel confident in knowing that they understand how to play varsity football now. Last year, you know, we were doing the best we could in a horrible situation. And that showed up on the field. I mean, we were 1-9 and we had to forfeit 2 games. But when you come in late and you've got a pandemic going on and 3 seniors and 1 junior, you know, that's kind of the situation you're dropped into. So, you know, we're six seniors this year. We're going to be 6 juniors. We got about 10 sophomores. So we've got guys who've been in it, who understand it. Even the guys who didn't play last year, you know, I taught most of them in class. So they got to spend a year with me in the classroom, understanding who I am, what I expect, and how I live my life. And they've jumped right back in and bought into what we're doing. They're not trying to go back to what they used to do. They're jumping in and doing what we do now. So.
Coach, you talked about young guys. How important was it last year to get the experience going into this year for those guys? Obviously, they were overmatched a lot last year, but it sounds like you've got basically all your team back this year, the guys that started for you.
Yes, we do. And it makes a huge difference in that they know now what, you know, I started 2 8th graders on my offensive line last year. They had no clue walking into the first varsity game what a varsity defensive lineman really looked like. They know now, and they know how they're going to play, and they know where their game's got to go to be able to compete against those guys. So that's huge for us, is they understand where they've got to play to be competitive. And when you're a young guy, a lot of times you don't understand that. You know, when I go back and think about my own career, when I walked on the field the first time in college, I really didn't understand how far my game had to go before I could really compete. And it took about a year to figure that out. So that's going to help us a great deal.
Jaden and Trent, I'll ask you guys the same question. Talk about the experience that you guys got last year. As Coach just talked about the experience that you got and what you think you offered with that experience coming into the 2021 season. Jaden, you want to go first?
I think we have a lot more experience from last year. Since we was all young, last year was my first year starting. Last year I just got a lot of to become a leader.
Last year was my first year of football. So like,
Yeah.
So like I'm still learning stuff, but from last year I feel like I'm more experienced than a walk on now. So like it helps a lot towards this year.
And when we look at both of these guys, this guy played through broken ribs last year.
Now, what, are they sophomores, juniors, seniors?
He's going to be a junior. He's going to be a senior. So he played through broken ribs last year, and nobody knew that. I didn't know it for 2 weeks because he wouldn't tell me, and finally found out about it. And like he said, he was a first-year starter. I mean, he had never played football before. So when you talk about these two guys and the experience they got, we're talking about he learned how to grow up and deal with playing through pain and learn how to be a leader just from that perspective of I'm not going to walk off the field and walk out on my brothers. And he just got to grow up and learn what a football team was all about. So really proud of them. Just can't express how much pride I have in the guys we've got.
Did you start practice yesterday? I think you told me to start
Yes, sir.
practice. And then you're gonna play a jamboree coming up.
August the 12th at home. We'll play Elkmont.
How are you gonna deal with the heat this week?
We go at 5. Tomorrow we'll go at 8 in the morning just because we've got FCA dinner. So we don't want to miss that this year. But we go late in the afternoon. We'll be 2 days of helmets, yesterday and today, and then tomorrow we'll go shells for 2 days. Friday will be our parent night. We won't really practice. Invite our parents in, but we'll do our test circuit and see where we're at conditioning wise. And then next week we'll do the same thing. And one of the things we're doing different this year is we're going defense one day, offense one day, trying to shorten practice time for the first 2 weeks. And I think that's going to help our install and being really focused on what we need to accomplish each day because we play both ways. So giving them a full day of working on defense and then a full day of working on offense help them concentrate and focus and get us out of the heat a little bit faster.
Other questions this morning, Coach?
All right, Kate, I'll say it. The mullet is glorious. So, hey, talk to us a little bit about second year in the program, knowing your coach now, knowing expectations, and how does that translate? Obviously, you guys are leaders offensively and defense. Talk about how that's kind of getting the coach on the field and getting the guys where they need to be.
I think getting to know Coach Harris was a big part of it, but when you have to grow up and be a leader on the field, I guess it trickles down to the smaller kids, so they know when they get up there, they know what to expect and do.
Hey, this question again.
Just knowing coach, second year in the program now, and how you're looked on to be a leader. Last year you was only a junior, now you're one of 5 or 6 seniors, but you're expected to be that leader on the field. Translate that from what you take from coach and how your team looks to you.
Well, I was just one of the juniors that had to go through it because nobody else in my grade wanted to play. So, me knowing Coach Harris this year, I know what he expects from us from last year.
You mentioned how much your numbers are up from last year to this year. I mean, not necessarily asking for a number, but is this kind of where you hope to be at this point in time in your second year of this program?
Second year of the program, honestly, we're ahead of where I wanted to be. I honestly did not expect our numbers to go up that much in 1 year. So I think that speaks highly of the community. I think it speaks highly of the kids that we've got on our team and in our program, and shows that other kids want to be part of what they're doing. So we're ahead of the curve on numbers from where we thought we would be. I figured, maybe year 3 we would see our numbers go up. So that's exciting for us to know that we're ahead of the curve there. if we can put some wins out on the field this year, hopefully in year 3, it gets to where we really want to be in the end, which is, about 30, 10 through 12, and about 30, 7 through 9. So get us to about 60 total in the program is where our goal is.
I'm sure it's different. I mean, several aspects. I know you mentioned some of them. Is there one thing you can really pinpoint, like getting these basketball guys to come out? I know that's a big deal.
Getting basketball guys to come out has helped us really, and I'm going to brag on our basketball coach and our baseball coach. We have gotten to a place in 1 year where there is nowhere for anybody to get out of work. And you go to a lot of schools, and what you'll find is in basketball season, basketball coaches don't want guys lifting in season, and I'm not knocking basketball coaches in any way, shape, form, or fashion, or baseball coaches, but a lot of times you fight that battle. We need them in the weight room to get them stronger. I've got a basketball coach who, game day, not game day, if they got a lift programmed, hey, we're going to lift. I got a baseball coach that, game day, not game day, if they got a lift program, they're going to lift. And that has been the difference, And once kids see, hey, I'm doing the same amount of work no matter what I do, then let me do everything I can. And they jump into it with both feet and they want to play everything. And I think that was one of the things that had kind of been run into in the past is, some guys were choosing just to play basketball because maybe they didn't have to work out during basketball season and that kind of thing. So that's the biggest thing is the weight room. The weight room's changed our culture so much it's not even funny. So.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot. We appreciate you. Good luck to the Gaston Bulldogs this year, and have a good season.
Thank you, gentlemen.